So when did the entertainment bug hit you then, the acting bug? When did that come about?
So, so like I said, I went through high school, went through college. In college, I took some acting classes, and I kind of loved it, but it wasn't my direction. Like I said, I saw Silence of the Lambs, and that was it for me.
Oh,
Like
nice.
I used to drive past going into Manhattan. I drive past Manhattan State and Creedmoor, and I'd say, "That's where I'm going to work. That's what I want to do. I want to work in a psychiatric locked facility." That was my goal. And my parents were like, "What? I mean, you can, but anyway." So I went through schooling, and I had just been accepted into my PhD program, started in that program when I learned that there was an open casting call for a leading role in a movie starring Kathy Bates, Dan Aykroyd, Rupert Everett.
Wow.
That was going to
Unconditional
be
love, right?
what?
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love. And I thought to myself, and the role was this crazy, sassy, gun-toting, cigarette-smoking, cursing little person. And I was like, that's fun. Like, I could do this.
Right.
So I drove myself into Manhattan, and I remember it was my very first audition. I walked into this big casting office, and there was probably 30 little women in that room that had been doing it for a while. And I walk in, and I was like, I'm gonna get this role, and they're all looking at me, and it was Billy Hopkins, who's a huge casting director, Carrie Barden and Billy Hopkins casting this movie. And I went in and I read for this part, and I remember driving home and thinking, this is what I want to do. I think I don't know, but this is fun, and I found such a freedom in being someone else, someone who could really. At that time, I was 22, and I thought, because this character just like was, in charge and afraid of nothing, and so I got the role, and they did this like nationwide casting call, and the whole time my parents were trying to ground me, like, sweetie, you're in school. And I said, I can always go back to my PhD program. When can I ever star in a movie? And so
Facts.
I moved to Chicago, and we shot this movie over a 9-month period. It was the greatest experience.
You said 9 months?
9 months. It took a long time.
What was going on for it to take that long to shoot that movie? Jesus.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was a really long stretch. Well, we shot in Chicago, then they went to England. My character didn't get to go to England. Went back to Chicago for reshoots. But that movie really propelled my career, and was the door that opened everything for me.
Wow. I've never seen it, and now I'm gonna have to go watch it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I'm gonna try to watch it this weekend. Saturday is usually my movie day. I'm gonna pull it up.
I'm not just saying this, you will love it.
Nice.
I mean, it's outrageous. I mean, and everyone in the world is in this movie.
I can't wait to look at it. But you know what? You said something that I found very interesting. You said you found freedom in playing someone else. That's something I learned on MacGyver. I learned what my love to like ratio was when it came to acting. And what I realized ultimately is I really, really, really like acting. I don't know if I love acting unless it's a very fine stipulation. If I'm being able to improv and get to be me, like my freedom is being able to do me. My freedom is not having to say other people's words, which is why I realized I love stand-up. People used to always ask me all the time when I was coming up in the business, like, which one do you love more, acting or stand-up? I'm like, I don't know, man. I like them the same. But the more and more I started acting more, I was like, oh, that's why I love stand-up so much, is because this is Justin being able to say whatever he wants to say. Same thing when it came to my music. Same thing when it comes to podcasting. It's like I finally have a platform where I don't feel like I'm handcuffed to someone else's words. However, what I found very interesting about what you just said was you found freedom in playing someone else. And I think that's why a lot of actors love acting, because they get to disappear into another character. And for them, that is freedom. So I thought that was interesting that you just said that, because that really put something in perspective for me just now.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, I have a lot to say about what you just said, because your best work, and I've stood beside you for 5 years, your best work is when you put the Justin in the work. And that's what everybody loves. I mean, you always shine. You know this. I call you my sunshine in a bottle, and you are.
I appreciate
but
that.
When you do you, and you infuse that, people love it. Right. You can never go wrong. And it's just your gift. I think that you combine it all and you get it right. And you do.
That's why I did this podcast, just to get compliments from you today. Thank you, Meredith.
You know it. This is my heart. It's how I feel. I mean, how many times after an episode do I text you and tell you these things?
You do, and I appreciate it.
You know, it's true. But for me, I mean, yes, there's freedom in being able to play other people. But I guess growing up and being a little person, I've never had the freedom to hide, right? I'm always being looked at, whether I want to be on stage or not, whether I go to the grocery store and I want to just be, I'm always going to be looked at. And it's okay, because I look different. You know, my parents always said to me, Meredith, you've been given the gift of being noticed. And so I always think to myself, okay, how can I change a perception? How can I show the world that while they're looking at me, they're thinking something, but they're going to change within 5 minutes. They're not going to see Meredith, the little person. They're going to see, you know, Bethany Horowitz, William Shatner's girlfriend, or they're going to see Meredith Oberling, the coroner on Battle Creek, or they're going to see Maudie Beasley, the crazy gun-toting, cursing, smoking woman in Unconditional Love, or they're going to see Maddie Weber, you know, head of CIA and now the director of the Phoenix Foundation. And so that's always been so exhilarating for me. Like, how can I empower other people and myself while I'm going to be looked at anyway?
Yeah, nah, I feel you. I mean, the thing that we both have in common is that we're minorities. So, you know, that's one of those things, like being an African-American, we somewhat feel the same way, which is we can't change our complexion to fit in America. You know, you Black, you can't hide it. And although you wish you could, when you're going to try to get a bank loan or something, or whatever the case is, which I will admit, that process is getting better, because I've had to get a bank loan. Although I did think, you know, the Black in me, the first time I tried to get one, there was a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, I wonder if this is because I'm Black. But ultimately, I got the loan. So, you know, it's better than the old days.
I hate to hear that. I hate it. I know it's reality, but I hate it.
Yeah. So, but that being said, I get it when you know, when you can't hide being noticed. Like, you're gonna be seen, period, you know, and it's just like, how can I make an impression, and how can I change people's perception or thought of what they thought I would be like? And so, yeah, that's why, you know, I speak to everybody and stuff like that. Sometimes I tip people that look racist, just because I'm gonna tell you, as a Black person, even like when you go to like a restaurant, I feel like they assume you not go tip, because that's just the stereotype that's been put out there. And I don't know if the shit was true or not. I don't know. But all I know is when I got money, I made sure to tip a good amount, because if they did have any type of perception about Black people not tipping. I wanted to be the person to change that, you know. So if that ever came up in conversation, they like, no, that's not true, you know. So
Yeah.
I do. Anyways, get off of my soapbox about being a Negro and
no, but it's our realities. The way that we live our lives are individual to us. And a lot of it is so unjust and not right. And so we spend a lot of time thinking about these things because they're real to us, right? So, you know, you and I, we've had conversations about this. We know what the fight is, what the outside world is like, you know. We've talked about the difficulties in being seen for roles, for, you know, or for fighting harder than anybody else. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you know? I'm sorry.
No, it shouldn't be, but we're not there yet. And we have a long way to go.